Show me to a higher place.
There's still some reptilians lurking around in parts like underground bases, and I've seen some reptilians. I recently had a talk with the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth, and she told me that she's a 7,000-year-old royal reptilian.
I have interest in memories of the Queen of England. And when I was used there for ritual abuse, I have a memory where I was tied to an altar, and there were also people at an altar, and it was round, almost like Stonehenge-like. I was tied to an altar, the center altar, and there was a person tied on top of me, and enchained. The arms were enchained, and we were enchained. He was on top of me, and I was quite younger at that age, and the Queen came out. She transformed and literally shapeshifted. There was some with her, but I'm supposing the ones under her, and they went to the other altars with the other people tied on them, on the altars, and she came up to where the altar was, where I was, and she bent down and she literally ripped out. She had shapeshifted before she bent down, though. Huge, and she ripped out the guy on top of me. She ripped out his inners, directly his heart, just ripped it out. I'm a large dragon, not quite dragon. It's hard to explain. Draconian, more draconian-like looking. They're quite large, and she's very, very large. She claws, or very, very large claws. I remember she just ripped at him and literally ripped his heart out. And the blood came over me, and as she did that, so did the ones around. They did the same thing to the people around.
She gave the lead.
Yes, and
who were the others?
you know, I just remember seeing her because the way I was put down.
Telepathically on the astral plane, I've spoken to the Queen of England recently, because there's all this news coming out about the reptilians still being here, that they're slowly backing off, but they're still here working with the cabals and the Illuminati. So I actually had no idea the Queen of England was a reptile. I had no idea, but I read this article about how Diana was murdered because she knew so much of what the royal family does and who they are, that they're reptilians. And something just clicked in my mind, and I said, Queen of England, I would like to talk to you. Elizabeth, I would like to talk to you. And she's like, well, Star Traveler, you finally deigned to talk to me. She was very sarcastic, and she's like, aren't I below your standards? And I said, well, I'm curious about you, and I'd like to talk to you. I do not fear you at all, so you can't do me any harm. You cannot do anything to me. She had a chat with me, so she's basically said that that there's higher overlord groups that the white royals and the reptilians answer to, and those are the dino AI overlords who've mixed ancient dinosaur DNA with AI technology, and that she's been around here for 7,000 years, and that there's actually a much higher, that she has higher bosses than her, the AI overlords that are have mixed in ancient dinosaur DNA with technology, and they're over 100 feet tall, and they live on this technological planet.
But where a reptile does come down, it's because that individual is so important that it requires an interaction from the high level. Again, it depends on that individual. What is that person to them? What is that person to humanity? And they have, for want of a better word, time machines where they can predict ahead what each person will do. And if they see a person is a threat to them, they will attempt to come along, interact with them, and send them off on a different course.
She is such a beautiful woman. So go ahead, Elena.
Well, it all started when I was 2. I was abducted by the reptilians. Basically, it's the Hydra reptilians, the green ones, and it was from the age of 2 to 10. I was abducted on their ships, and they put in nanonite technology into my body, which is a little microchip computer technology, small chips. Basically, they infected me so I would not be able to do my future work as the Star Traveler in the present time. So basically, I was infected with an Epstein-Barr virus through the nanonites, and I ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks in Ukraine, paralyzed, with migraines and a high fever. I almost died because of that infection that they gave me. And they continued to abduct me until I was 10 years old, and they did all kinds of experiments on me, genetically and stuff, to see how, when I would grow up, what psychic abilities I would have. So basically, they tried to take me out in the past so I wouldn't be able to do my contactee work in the future. But that failed. I survived. I was abducted from the age of 2 to 10 at night by the DRACO reptilians, the royal ones. I was experimented on as a young child because I was born in the Ukraine, and a lot of people are abducted in the Ukraine. It's one of the hot spots for UFOs and alien abductions. I was abducted by the reptilians. They tried to change my genetic DNA structure, my galactic genetic structure, by infecting me with nanonites, which caused me to have that Epstein-Barr virus. And nanonites are little microchips that flow through the bloodstream and multiply in the human body. And they go all over the body, to the brain especially. I have been able to heal myself and prevent the nanonites from replicating further. So I'm much more healthier than I used to be, because I've embraced my true galactic heritage and explored what my life was before, what my life is now, and what my life could be in the future. So I fully reintegrated my soul, almost all aspects of my soul, into this human body that I am in right now. And I've spiritually come to terms with who I am, who I always was, who I am, what my mission here in life is, and that I am a representative for a lot of the benevolent beings, and I work with multiple groups of the benevolence. So I'm in and out of my house all the time. I have a new catchphrase that I say, boom, 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 there's a party in my room. And there is a ET party going on in my room most of the time, because I have friends visiting here at my house. I'm going up there on the ships, I'm going on different planets, I'm doing tours of different galaxies, basically getting reacquainted with all of my galactic friends from the Star Traveler life before I ascended into the third dimension here on the planet on Earth, because I was living in the higher dimensions, basically from 6th to 12th and higher dimensions. I work a lot with the L's, which are the builder race that was originally here on the planet way before the Atlantean or the Lemurian civilizations. These guys, the L's, were here like 20 million years ago. Not all reptilians are negative. There are some reptilians that were born here on Earth millions of years ago that naturally they evolved here on Earth, and they're healers. There are some benevolent reptilians, so not all reptilians are bad. It's mainly the Draco Hydra and the White Royal reptilians that are bad and negative. And I've done some work for Tolec for his Mount Shasta conference last year that he went to. And that's how I started working with graphic design and images to actually physically represent what I see on the biosphere ships when I go up there, because I go up there on a regular basis. I'm in meetings with the Andromeda Council members, and that way I met a lot of my old friends from the Andromeda Council, because as the Star Traveler, in my 2 billion lifetimes, I would really work with the Andromeda Council a lot. That was who I primarily worked with and still work with in this human lifetime that I'm in right now. So that's a huge part of my life, and I work with other benevolent star being group. I said, you know, I'm ready to have galactic contact with benevolent ETs. And I contacted Tolec, who is a human Andromedan representative for the Andromeda Council on the 12 to 14 biosphere ships that are sometimes around close to Earth. They orbit Earth. They're cloaked most of the time. So after I made contact with him, I started having contact with the Andromeda Council. They're 4th to 9th dimensional beings that are caretakers of the Milky Way galaxy and the Andromeda galaxy. They help protect humanity from invasions by the negative ETs, and they also help us to avoid natural disasters on the planet Earth from outside cosmic events like comets, passing us by, asteroids, Nibiru, whatever heads our way. They help to deflect that.
Hi, this is Tolec for the Andromeda Council. Today is Thursday, February 11, 2016, and this information is about an expected incoming dwarf star system. Many people have asked me, Tolec, about a dwarf star with an extensive debris field heading toward our solar system in the near future. My own contacts with the Andromeda Council, in this instance led by Andromedan, including their scientists, have said that yes, there is a dwarf star system with an extensive debris field headed toward our solar system in the direction of Earth. Now also please know, this dwarf star system, this incoming dwarf star, is not, I'll repeat this, it is not Nibiru. Nibiru passed over this solar system back in March of 2012. Now the formal designation for this new incoming dwarf star system is called by the Andromeda Council scientists X as in xylophone -12041X. It is a designation, not a name. Further, this incoming dwarf star system will not have a close brush with planet Earth. Though Earth may experience some trembling, some tremors, due to the contained magnetic forces that will be exerted during its passing. And yes, people may be able to take great notice of it and the trail of debris that it has as it passes our planet. This dwarf star actually has a few pieces of debris in front of it, though much of its quite large extensive debris field trails in back of it as it heads our way. Now, the scientists of the Andromeda Council have told me and shown me they will use technology from their engineering and science biospheres to envelop and wrap this dwarf star and its debris inside of an energy field, an energy bubble, or you might say energy net, all around these traveling cosmic bodies. There will be 2 Andromeda Council biospheres, one in front and one trailing in back, to buffer and contain the dwarf star and its total debris field, and safely lead all of it through our solar system until it's out of our solar system, onward onto its existing course. By creating this energy bubble, this energetic safety net around the dwarf star and its debris field, while not changing its course, this action as a result will not endanger our sun nor any other star systems the dwarf star might encounter on its continuing travels through space. You should note, these same Andromeda Council scientists also assured me they would and will do the same thing again regarding the energetic bubble, the containment of this large cosmic body, its debris field, and any other, if necessary, again in our future. It's all part of the continuing protection of this planet by these good higher dimensional people who are in essence our family. Therefore, in closing, expect that no significant debris will hit planet Earth or cause any major problems for this planet or any other planets in our solar system.